and welcome to this month's Grief Chatter. My name is Kim Smith, and this is
Paige, Rahn.
And I know it is, what is it? Grief Chatter.
The next chapter.
The next chapter. It's been a month. Literally, it's been a year because we recorded last in 2025, and now we're in 2026. Whether my brain wants to remember that or not, over the weekend I was recording a podcast myself, and I caught that I had said 2025. Thankfully, I caught it, but I was like, yeah, I had done so well when it came to writing and typing, and here I just verbalized. I don't know what year it is. Oh, well.
Right.
So this morning, I was listening to an audiobook. So for those of you who have listened to us, maybe in the original version of Grief Chatter, you know that I do a lot of audiobooks. So I'm going to do a quick plug. So no matter where you are, definitely in the United States anyway, you have the opportunity to download an app called Hoopla through your local library system. You can become connected and you can borrow, I think it's 20. It's either 20 or 21. I get it confused every month. 20 or 21, whether it be audiobooks or whether it be ebooks, and you listen or read them for free. They also have movies, they have music, they have all of those things too, but I do it with audiobooks. So I was listening to an audiobook this morning, and it was the two main characters, even though grief was not the focus. That was not what this particular book was about. It was an element, but it was two people who just looked at life through very different lenses. Even though they were in the same physical space, how the man looked at his day. So when he got up that morning, you could have put the most beautiful rose, fragrant in every way, just gorgeous, and he would not have seen it. Not that he didn't have physical eyes to see, but because his focus was on, I got to get my six mile run, I've got to prep for a race, I've got all these things to do at work. And so he comes into the business, and that's his mindset. That's where he's been. And he walks in, and he's got this bubbly young lady, and she's talking about, oh, isn't it a beautiful day? And isn't it? And da 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 da. And I just stopped, and I voice messaged Paige because I knew I had to, or I would forget. Shock. But I voice messaged her. I said, I think the topic that we might want to use today is how grief opens our eyes. And as I was sitting here a few minutes ago, I was thinking about the fact that for most of us, when we think about the grief process, we don't think of it as a time where our eyes are opened, especially to beauty. We probably think about it as a time where our eyes are shaded. We see darkness, we see gray, and there's an element to that, no matter whether it is an individual loss or, as I was thinking, a Hurricane Katrina loss, where you've got individual losses in the midst of that, but then you have the corporate loss. Right. 9/11, hurricanes, all sorts of hurricanes, all sorts of, right now in Tennessee, in Mississippi, we've got kind of Snowmageddon or Ice-mageddon. I haven't seen it called that, but that's really what's causing the major problems, where you've got an area in Nashville where you've got trees that, they're gorgeous with the beautiful ice that have fallen on houses. You've got areas of Mississippi that are not going to have power for possibly 3 weeks. Those are individual losses and then corporate losses. And they're also really cold in the midst of everything else that's going on. It's just so much happening. And that's the grief process for so many of us. And so we see, for lack of a better word, the negative side of the grief process, because there is sadness for almost everyone.
Yes.
There is anxiety for almost everyone. Like, what's going to happen next? Can I possibly handle it? Those type of things. But there's also color, as we have up here in front of us. There are also moments of beauty that you can see even within the fog.
Yes.
Even within what could be a darker time. And then definitely as you look back, when you get to a place where maybe the fog of grief has lifted all the way or most of the way, because most of us, we all still have a little fog as we look back, but we may not be carrying it, as Paige likes to call, a blanket. Maybe we don't have the blanket of grief, but we look back and we're just like overwhelmed at the glimpses of beauty.
Yes. I had the privilege of attending a funeral Saturday morning in Mississippi, and rain, sleet, tornadoes. I was determined to get there, and thankfully the weather cooperated, but sitting in the church that was filled to capacity, you know, in the midst of, you know, the sadness for all of us.
Absolutely.
It was also, my gosh, look how beautiful. Like, this person was the epitome of kind and genuine. So it was that, like, oh, our hearts are so heavy, but look at the difference he made and look at the lives he touched. And before leaving, I saw the preacher. She said the night before there were 1,100 people that came through. That's the beauty. And, you know, talking about that on the car ride home, like, yes, we are so sad that this happened, but my word. And I think the family could see that as well and could feel.
And continues to feel.
Yes.
Because we're seeing evidence of that on social media. Even this morning, I saw even more evidence because more stories continue to be told about this person's life and this person's impact.
Yes.
And will be for years to come.
Yes.
And in the midst of what this family and what this community is dealing with, because it is a community loss, there's no question about that, there are going to be those moments of beauty, whether it be recognizing the beauty of this person's life, which definitely was a bright place, no doubt about that, but then there are going to be certain stories and certain people that, whether it be their kind deed, whether it be the warm hug, and on and on and on the story goes, of those moments where they see beauty in the midst of what can be a dark time.
I think too, in our support groups, you know, you can have a circle of folks at all different places in their grief, but all there to support one another. And it happened recently of, there's one loved one who's choosing to see the beauty, and particularly that day someone could be struggling but was listening of, I may not see beauty and color right now, it may just be fog and gray, but it's coming.
Or you can listen and you can have beauty right in front of you, and you're like my fictional character in his 6 Mile Run. We see people around us who they can sit in the midst of extreme beauty, but because of their mindset, they refuse to see it.
Yes, because that's a choice.
It is a choice. We do have beauty in front of us. We have beauty inside of us. We have beauty that we can create out of extreme grief. You think about some of the greatest works ever, whether it be musical, whether it be paintings, movies, and on and on and on the story goes, that came from a place of deep, deep loss. But the pouring out has led to beautiful moments, beautiful stories that touch each of our lives. And so we challenge you, no matter where you are in the grief process, because some of us may not be in the midst of a specific grief where we're just feeling that blanket around us. Maybe we are in between, because we're always in between. And some of you, that blanket seems like it's not a 20-pound weight, but a 40-pound weight, because you've had even multiple losses in a short amount of time, which happens sadly too.
Yes.
But even in the midst of that blanket of grief, there's at least a good chance that there may be a blanket of comfort. Yes. Because you know that you have people who love you, that even though they can't remove that blanket, they can place their arms around it. Mm-hmm. And instead of it being stifling for this season of time, it may be a place almost like an incubator of beauty that can come out of a dark place.
Yes. So good.
Well, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for sharing this with others. Now that it's on YouTube, it's a little easier for people to get to and easier for them to share, but we have it on our personal Facebook pages. That just works out best for us, and so it's someplace that you can share it, send it away. It's free for you to watch. It's free for you to share, and you never know when somebody may be having one of those days, one of those months, or even one of those years, and they can benefit from a little extra touch of beauty.
Be kind.